Hi, there's another aspect I want to talk about here. I didn't talk about it in the last video because it takes a little bit longer, but it's the aspect carried by the Razi. A Razi is a sign. Signs are Razis. Razi is a Sanskrit term. And what we have is all the signs aspect other signs. And you see up here MF, which is movable and fixed, so movable signs aspect fixed signs aspect movable signs. Then the one that's adjacent to them on a movable and fixed sign doesn't get aspected. And then the common or dual Razis, they aspect all the signs, or all of the common signs. Now, so here we've got movable sign. So the movable sign aspects the fixed sign except for the one adjacent to it, which the one adjacent to it's right here. So it makes an aspect here. I'm drawing over this again just in case you guys can't see it. And then it's going to aspect this fixed sign. And it'll aspect this fixed sign. Okay, then with the fixed signs, it's going to aspect the movable sign except for the one that's adjacent to it. This one's adjacent to this fixed sign here. Okay, so this is going to aspect here. It'll aspect here. And it will aspect here. Okay, now with this aspect, it carries the energy of that sign to these other signs. Alright, so let's say the moon is in the 4th house, it's going to carry it to the 8th house, the 5th house, and the 11th house. Okay, so this energy gets transferred by that. And this Razi aspect is not as strong as the planetary aspects, but it's still pertinent. Okay, now what Saravali had to say, or what was stated in Saravali, is that the moon was in aspect to Jupiter. So you can see from these three here that the moon could not be being carried out to this one, to the 9th house or the 12th house, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. And I said house, I meant Razi or sign. Okay. And, oh, I forgot about this common. They aspect all the common signs. So it's going to be here, here, and here. Okay. So with those aspects, you cannot. It does not satisfy that statement either. So this is the placement of Jupiter. It's got to be in Pisces in the 9th house. Okay, so there's a beautiful story about Shiva, and Shiva was, it is the manifestation of the Supreme Lord, the immovable Lord. God is he's the observer of time. Okay, so he's observer of all the movable things. He's immovable. He's indestructible. He's there. His presence is there. Okay, he pervades everything. But so Shiva is a manifestation of God in this universe, and I love. This is what I love about Hinduism. Their stories and stuff, because they go on to explain a lot where a lot is not explained in any other history or religion or whatever you want to deem it, or philosophy. But the story is that Shiva sat upon a lotus, and from that lotus he manifested the universe. Well, the interesting thing about that story is it says that he concentrated. Now, earlier on in the video I said Saturn right here gives a lot of concentration, okay? But from that viewpoint, we've got Venus here. Venus is, it's in a Kendra. Kendra is 4, 7, 10, or 11. Okay, so it's in Kendra to the moon. Alright, and so we've got also these planetary aspects. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it aspects Saturn, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's that 4, 8 aspect, a planetary aspect from Venus. I'm bringing up Venus because Venus has to do with desire, and in order for anything to happen, you have to desire it first. Okay? The next aspect is the 310 aspect. So 1, 2, 3. So it's aspect in the 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here Venus is making a partial aspect to the moon, so it's given desire. And it's also triggering Saturn as well. You know, so this statement made about concentration and desire, you know, when it comes to you know, Shiva, you know, he manifested creation out of this. Okay, creation of the universe, and then of the planets. And so you can see how all these aspects are so important when you're really looking at it. Now, it's interesting when we look in the Christian Bible, because one of the first things it says is that God separated the day from the night. Okay, well, okay, my dog got into my tripod, so I had to stop. I had to make a change right here. I had this as Pusha, and it should be Panavarasu. I'll tell you right now, I am discovering this creation chart as I go. And I'm sure there's, and I've never had a guru to teach me anything, so a lot of this stuff's just on intuition. So anyway, the ascendant is in Panavarasu, all right, and we see right here Panavarasu is actually the last part of the 12th house. Now, what's interesting about this is because Rudra was born, you know, and Rudra was a destroyer, and he was destroying everything, and you know, we can see death and destruction and, you know, things being taken away from the 12th house. You can also see dreaming from the 12th house, you know, concentration, meditation, you know, so this kind of fits into the stories that go along with the creation in Hindu philosophies. And so we see this movement, this area right here in the sky, and then you have Panavarasu, you know, which is the return of the light, you know, good again, and this has to do with the Aditis, and the Aditis is the day and the night. Aditi and Aditya, I think, is the name. Aditi is the mother of the Aditis, the 12 Aditis, which are solar deities. But there's also Diti, so this is day and night, you know, and Muhurta is a time. It has to do with the moon. Muhurta does. Okay, Muhurta is also electional timing. So this separation of the day and the night was the separation of good and evil. You know, and it's talked about in Genesis. You know, God separated the day from the night. You know, and he said it was good. You know, but then when you get into the Hinduism teaching, they say that, you know, that Raman, you know, cast a shadow of himself, and all of the evil and the demons and all of that attach themselves to this darkness. and then all the gods and demigods attached themselves to the light when he cast another incarnation of himself. So you can see this manifestation of creation rolling out into the stories of the nakshatras and the deities of the nakshatras, the stars that are beyond the sun signs. And then when we look at the placement of the moon, you know, it's in the sign of Cancer, it's in Ashisha, in the Navamasa of Jupiter. Well, there's another Hinduism story that says that Brahaspati, which is Jupiter, assisted in the creation of, of creation. So here we've